With third base and the outfield holding even more uncertainty than what it was to begin the 2020 season, rest assured the Mets will explore all options necessary to upgrade the current roster. And don't get me wrong, free agency holds plenty of opportunity should the Mets seek it, and they will, but let's not discount the potential this trade market can bring as it has in the past. Still with over a month away from MLB winter meetings, let's take a look at 5 trade options for the Mets this offseason. Starting off at number 5, Yankees third baseman Georgella. Now we know what you're thinking, Yankees-Mets trade? When does that happen? You're right, it doesn't happen often, but there's good reason as to why this could at least be a consideration in the coming months, knowing that Urshela is coming off of a down 2021 campaign offensively versus his first 2 years in the Bronx, which featured a 300-plus average hitter who had a breakout season his first year with the Yanks in 2019 with 21 bombs and 74 RBIs. And having started his career prior to that with the Cleveland Indians for a couple of years, it is well documented that Francisco Lindor is in fact his best friend, and they train with each other during the offseason. So similar to the Javi Baez-Lindor connection in this infield, the same would be said with Urshela and Lindor at shortstop and then at third base. And with the favorable contract that goes only until 2024 as of now, the short-term third base solution could be of consideration for the Mets with top prospects like Brett Baty in the pipeline. Currently at a lower trade value, Gio is still destined to have a bounce-back year next year, especially in a position where there's certainty. The Yankees had quite the mixture of an infield in 2021, which include Gio gained some time at short, DJ gained some time at third base, so with a shakeup feeling inevitable for the Yankees this offseason in their infield, Gio, who was a Yankees trade candidate earlier in the season, could very well be parted with on a mid-level deal. At number 4, Rays left fielder Ndh Austin Meadows. Not including the 2020 short year, Meadows has smashed upwards of 30 bombs in his first 2 years as an everyday player, including a career-high 106 RBIs in 2021. At only the age of 26, on a really good contract, normally this is not a guy that's made available, let alone should be made available from the team that has him, but this is the Tampa Bay Rays we're talking about, and they face unfortunately crucial decisions this winter with multiple key pieces due to arbitration, including their power-hitting left fielder. And the Mets have completely lacked hitters who hit for power outside of Pete Alonso this year and in a couple years past, and a bat like Meadows would fit rather nicely to an offense that can really benefit from it, along with having a true corner outfielder every day who can make up for his at times defensive woes, something Dom Smith is unable to do, at least from this past season. Also keep in mind that the universal DH should be upon us next year, and Meadows can be utilized in either position just fine as a potential long-term fit for offensive impact in Queens. At number 3, Twins center fielder Byron Buxton. If you guys have been following along the channel for a while, then you know I've always been a heavy advocate for Byron, and for good reason. He was on an MVP caliber pace in 2021, but his unfortunate narrative of staying injured continued. The 27-year-old, who was a former second overall draft pick, has finally shown his potential the last couple years as long as he can stay in the lineup, and he's one of the most electrifying players in the league, both offensively, defensively, speed on the bags, he does it all, to which the Mets have attempted acquiring not once but twice, first a couple years ago under Brodie Van Wagenen, and most recently at the MLB trade deadline this past year, according to reports. And the Twins have failed in trying to extend Buxton to a long-term contract this past year, and now face a do-or-die decision on his future before next season begins. The Gold Glove, Platinum Glove, and Defensive Player of the Year winning Buxton would bring the Mets a top outfield immediately, while giving Brandon Nimmo the opportunity to play his more natural position on left field. And there are, of course, risks involved here with the high asking price the Twins are sure to demand, and a Lindor-like situation that could be apparent again with making sure that you lock down Buxton to a long-term deal instead of him being a rental going into 2022. But no less, a player who, if he can simply stay healthy, has the potential to easily be the next big star in New York. At number 2, A's third baseman Matt Chapman. Chapman has been connected to the Mets going back to last offseason, and now a year later is still just as much of a fit as he was then. Coming off of hip surgery, Chapman saw a decline in some of his hitting production, especially slugging, but still managed to put up the second most home runs and RBIs of his career in 2021. Offense isn't what you're asking for from Chapman, however, because the A's third baseman is widely known as one of, if not the best at the position in all baseball. A 2-time Gold Glover, Platinum Glover, and Defensive Player of the Year would bring a shutdown left side of the infield, something the Mets have desperately been needing. Similar to Urshela, Chapman also has a contract extended to only 2024, giving the Mets complete control in handling third base long term, either with himself or from someone in the system. And in typical A's fashion, players that are due for arbitration, including Chapman, can very well find themselves on the trade block this offseason for a price that shouldn't ruin the Mets' farm by any means. At number 1, Cleveland third baseman Jose Ramirez. There really isn't much of a selling job that needs to be done here. It's J-Ram, one of the best infielders the game has to offer. 2021 proved to be Ramirez's second best offensive year, reaching the 30 home run and 100 RBI plateau for the first time since 2018. The 3-time, about to be 4-time Silver Slugger, who spent the majority of his career shutting down the infield with Francisco Lindor, would be the top blockbuster of the MLB offseason. And there's no denying the cost for J-Ram will certainly be an arm and a leg, which includes top prospects like Brett Beatty or Ronnie Mauricio, along with other pieces such as Jeff McNeil and multiple others. But if the Mets are really trying to win now or the next couple years, an acquisition like Ramirez as your long-term third baseman will surely help you get there. Cleveland has club options on the remaining years of his contract, and while they'll make sure to keep Ramirez, a trade is inevitable given the type of long-term deal he'll be asking for that's simply not affordable on the organization's end. Will the Mets pry away a star infielder from Cleveland for the second consecutive offseason? Only time will tell. And that'll do it for this video, folks. I hope you guys did in fact enjoy. If you did, please make sure to let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, and let me know really what players out of these do you like the most, maybe not like, and do you prefer the Mets go down the trade market or the free agent route most this offseason in addressing this lineup? Let me know it all. And of course, guys, if you ended up enjoying this kind of Mets content and you want to see more great Mets content like this, don't hesitate from smashing that like and subscribe on, sharing this video with your friends, on the notification bell. All is great things. Thank you all so much for the continued support, folks. Help us get a 10K subs for the next short-term goal, and I'll talk to you soon. Let's go Mets, baby.